We're at the 6th ET Supply Chain Leadership Summit in New Delhi, and right now I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Hanif Qureshi, who is the Additional Secretary, Ministry of Heavy Industries. Dr. Qureshi, thank you for joining us and
Thank you.
sparing the time.
Thank you.
Dr. Qureshi, first thing, we are seeing India as, an emerging destination for global technologies and global manufacturing. And, in that, supply chain plays a key role.
Yes.
So according to you, what are the opportunities that you see in that supply chain domain for India going forward?
So, in supply chain, we always talk about resilience and we talk about sustainability. The challenges which the Indian industry has faced, and particularly the automotive industry, is a lot of dependence on imports of components which go into manufacturing of vehicles. But what we have seen over the last 10 to 15 years is the engineering capability of the Indian manufacturers where they are successfully able to substitute, not all, but a large number of components which go into manufacturing. So I think that has made the Indian industry very resilient and also very forward looking.
Right. And, we are also seeing a lot of incentives and schemes from the government side, from MHI's side. So, how do you see that playing a key role in sort of enhancing those competencies for local manufacturing in the country?
Say, for example, the government of India has 14 production linked incentive schemes. Two of them are in the Ministry of Heavy Industries, PLI Auto and the PLI Advanced Chemistry Cells. Now, these schemes have a local manufacturing requirement to the extent of 50%. Now, if there are some structural disabilities in manufacturing, which means a higher cost of manufacturing, so the scheme provides some incentives so that that disability is offset. And due to this, we have seen that several components like traction motors, like DC-DC converters, which used to be imported earlier, are now being manufactured by a lot of Indian companies. And these are not all very big companies which you would have heard about. These are medium and small companies also, which are all manufacturing this. So I think this leads to a lot of strengthening and lot of breadth in the manufacturing strength of the country.
And also, we are in a time when global geopolitical headwinds are there almost all the time. So, do you think that this would really strengthen our overall backbone in terms of being self-reliant and self-resilient?
See, global supply chain disruptions, geopolitical crises will always be there. And we may not expect that we will be manufacturing everything in the country. That cannot happen. For certain parts, we have to be import dependent. But to the extent that we can be local, that is what we strive for. For example, rare earth magnets. There was a supply chain crisis, we could not import magnets. The Ministry of Heavy Industries has now floated a scheme inviting people to manufacture the rare earth magnets. And more than 20 companies have responded to that call. So I think that in the next 1.5 to 2 years, these manufacturing plants will come up and the almost entire requirement of rare earth magnets, whether it is automotive, whether it is aerospace, whether it is consumer electronics, that can be satisfied with that production, which is likely to be there.
And even in terms of the electrification side, I think there are big plans for India to move in the zone of green mobility and green transportation. So, how is the ministry, helping the industry move in that direction?
I think what manufacturers and also people have realized that running electric vehicles is not only good for the environment, but it makes economic sense also. The total cost of ownership of electric vehicles is, most of the cases, lower than that of the ICE vehicles. But since the upfront cost of electric vehicles still remains a little higher, ministry schemes like the Prime Minister's e-drive scheme, which give an upfront subsidy to electric vehicles, those offset those high costs. So, along with these government schemes, where PME Drive is one where upfront subsidy is given, PLI Auto is another where the manufacturers are given subsidies. In addition to that, the realization of the better economics of EVs, I think that is also fueling the EV growth. And that is why Niti Aayog has projected that EVs are going to grow by 49% CAGR till 2030.
Are you also bullish about India being a leader in EV exports to the world?
As of now, India is the number two world's producer of two-wheelers, and we export a large number of two-wheelers to other countries. As far as electric cars are concerned, some exports have started, but our domestic demand is also huge. So we may not be a very large exporter of electric cars or electric vehicles, but certainly for components, India remains a formidable exporter in the world. We exported about 21, 22 billion dollars worth of components, chiefly to US and the EU markets last year.
Lastly, Dr. Qureshi, what key opportunities, maybe top three opportunities that you see ahead of the industry in the next 5 to 10 years time frame?
I think the proportion of the vehicles having cleaner, sustainable powertrains, that's a very big opportunity. So, which means electric vehicles, whether it is cars, whether it is two-wheelers. Another area which will be coming up is the electric buses. The government has plans to launch almost 30,000 buses, electric buses, combined with the two ministries who are running the scheme. So that manufacturing will be a huge opportunity. I think exports of automotive components and exports of vehicles, that will also be a very important opportunity in the coming years.